Good morning everyone. Today we're going to be talking about whether it's worth upgrading now or not, since we've got the new Phantasy armor, which is pretty much accessible to everyone now. Everyone's able to get their Obsidia weapons, which are better than their Kaiser weapons. And then we've also got the seasonal event kicking in next week. So there's a lot of free stuff and there's a lot of incentive for people to go out and farm things. So the big question is, should you upgrade anything right now, or are we in saving mode and we're just going to wait until Stia comes out and then do our big upgrade then? Well, in today's video, I'm going to be answering that question. But before we jump into that, if you're new to the channel, I upload NGS content daily. So if you do play this game, I would really appreciate a subscribe, as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. Alright, so the very first thing is, of course, today's keyword. The keyword is actually pretty funny. It's sorry underscore about underscore the underscore keywords. Alright, everything is in lowercase, nothing complicated. Once you type that, you're simply going to go to your systems, go to get campaign items and receive item account, and right here there is the NGS headline plus. You're going to get 2 Rappy shaped fritters as well as a 50 SG ticket. They decided to take away the Ragdoll memories, I guess. They were too sick of my complaining, and instead of putting manga memories, they just took away the Ragdoll memories, I guess. But either way, you know, this is still good stuff, so make sure that you do actually pick these up since they are free. And this keyword will expire on November 9, alright? So you want to make sure that you type in the keyword before November 9. Once you pick up the items, they'll never expire, so once you pick it up, you're good to go. Now, while we're still in the campaign item receipt menu, you may notice that there are other rewards as well, or other compensation. There's an apology for a side task issue. I don't even remember what it is, but we get a special scratch ticket for that. And then there's an apology for daily tasks being unable to be completed. This one I remember, you know, the one where it tells you to go to like Mount Magnus to kill 50 mobs, but it's actually like Vanford or something. Like, I remember this quest. So yeah, they're giving us 5 common yellow triggers, an end try boost 10%, 20 star gems, and another special scratch ticket. It's better than nothing, I suppose, but yeah, that was pretty annoying when we couldn't complete our dailies. Well, we technically could, but it was telling us to go to the wrong place. Alright, with all of that out of the way, I want to share my stats right now. So you can see that my weapon potency isn't very high. It's only at 55%. However, this basic information stat sheet over here doesn't really give me enough information. It doesn't tell me like how much percentage damage resistance I'm getting and all of that stuff. And so we're going to go over to Cake's spreadsheet because it is very, very helpful. So for those who don't know who Cake is, they are a very, very talented person, very good at mathy stuff, and they spent the time to make this weapon analysis page, which is freaking amazing. So it's really simple to use. Basically, you just fill in the blanks. So, you know, the weapon that I'm currently using is a Kaiser weapon, so I simply type in Kaiser. But if you're not using a Kaiser weapon, all you need to do is select the weapon that you're using. So if you're using an Obsidia weapon, you select Obsidia. If you're using a rugged, you select whatever potential the rugged weapon is, because the rugged weapon is a little bit more unique, as different weapons have their unique weapon potentials. So in my case, I am using a Kaiser. Obviously, Kaisers don't have any fixes, and then you can fill in the blanks over here with all the different augments that you're using. So you can see this is currently all of the augments that I have, and then you do the same with your armors. You can see that I'm still using the Sorzest armors, and then you can fit in all the fixes if you have any fixes. Now, if you don't have any fixes, simply just select no fixa and you're good to go. And you fill in all this information. And once that information is filled in, you can see right here, potency is 55.24%. Yep, that reflects perfectly. As you can see here, my potency is 55.2%. But more importantly, it gives us a lot more information, such as over here with the damage resistance. You can see that I have 35.2% damage resistance with all of this gear. I'm getting 320 HP from the gear alone, as well as 50 photon power. And then you can see here's my critical rate, as well as my potency floor and all of that stuff. But this is not all, because we're going to scroll all the way to the top over here. And this right here, character information, is the big one that I actually cared about. So you can see that my potency is actually 62.62%. And why is that? That's simply because we have add-on skills. Don't forget that we do have add-on skills now and that they actually do apply. So what you need to do over here is tick add-on skills and then type in the levels of all your different add-on skills in order for this calculator to calculate your true potential as well as your potency floor and all of that stuff. And on top of that, we also have food buffs. So food buffs will also give you even more potency. So even though in my stat information it says that my potency is 55%, when I am fully buffed up and everything, my potency is actually 62% and not 55%. But enough about my gear. I know a lot of people are wondering, okay, Kara, what is the maximum? If I want to go all out and get the maximum amount of potency, how much potency can I get? Well, as we can see here, Uber actually did it. This madman actually did it. And you can see that their potency is 93.5%. This is an absurd amount of potency. This is madness, but this is the potential maximum that you can get. So as we can see here, they did use the Ephetus armor. So depending on what potency you're using, you know, you'll use Arga, Beltar, or Sheza. And then as for their augments, they're using Stat 4, Mastery 4, Soul 4, Gigas 4, as well as an Adidef Fusion capsule. So this is very, very, very expensive, but nevertheless, you can see that he has insane stats because of this. So of course I open up Cake's spreadsheet over here and I plug in all the numbers. So I put in all these augments, but for the melee variant, into my weapon, into my armors, and then here is the final result. As you can see that we will get 93.5% potency. Our floor potency actually increases by 23%. And yeah, we still have a lot of HP, a lot of PP, as well as a lot of damage resistance. Now to compare this with my old gear, you can see my HP goes down a little bit, you know, 947 versus 837. You know, it's about a 100 HP decrease. My photon power also decreases a little bit from 166 to 140. My damage resistance also decreases a little bit from 35% to 29%. However, look at the potency, 93% versus 55%. This is a massive metric ton increase of damage, but this is just what shows on the basic information page. Let's actually scroll up over here and see what it is with our food buffs as well as our add-on skills. And you can see our potency is actually a whopping 102%. That is an insane amount of potency, and our floor potency is actually 61.52%. This is nuts. This is so much damage. So if you are planning to go the full min-max route, these are pretty much the augments that you're looking for. However, obviously, depending on what type of potency you need, you just need to change it. So if you're, you know, melee, instead of using Technique 4, you would use Might 4. Mastery 4 is the same. The Soul is really up to you. Any of the Soul 4s will work, to be honest. And then you've got the Giga Stat 4s, and then of course the Addy capsules as well. So these 5 augments over here are your endgame augments at the moment, and it pretty much gives you 18%, almost 19% potency per piece of armor. And then as for the weapon itself, it will give you 15% if you are using a Kaiser weapon. But it doesn't end there, because this spreadsheet is really, really amazing in the sense that if we scroll to the side over here, you can see that it also tells you your weapons. So if we were to have the exact same stats, but we were to upgrade to an Obsidia weapon, if it does not have a Fixa, the Obsidia weapon would give us a DPS increase of 1.42%. But when we go into Fixa territory, if we get Fixa attack, it increases dramatically. If we manage to get a Fixa attack 5 Obsidia, that's a damage increase of 6.49%. Versus if we got a rugged weapon with a Fixa attack 5, you can see the Citadel one as well as the grading one is only going to give you a 6.5% damage increase. So if you ever have the choice between a Obsidia weapon and the rugged weapon, if the rugged weapon costs a lot more, then just go with the Obsidia weapon. It's literally a damage difference of 0.01% DPS. So going the Obsidia weapon is not a bad idea either. Now don't worry about the Prim Libre weapons yet. These aren't out yet. These are the 8-star rarity weapons, and these are just estimations at the moment. So I wouldn't really look into this too much. We're just gonna have to wait until the weapon actually comes out so we can actually get some solid numbers. But yeah, this spreadsheet is super crazy useful. But now that you know you can get an absurd amount of potency, is it worth upgrading now or not? In my personal opinion, it really depends on how much you play, because all of these augments, Mastery 4, Frostal 4, Gigas Might 4, Might 4, are all farmable capsules. The only one that you actually need to spend money, or you need to spend Meseta to buy, is of course going to be the new Addy capsules. So personally, I will just be farming for these 4 capsules over here, and then when the price is right, or when I feel like it's a reasonable price, I will be buying 3 of these Addy capsules. Now of course, you don't have to buy the Deft variant. If you are a little bit tight on your budget, you don't need to buy the best of the best. You can just buy a old Addy capsule. You'll be fine. You're losing 0.5% on the potency, as well as 0.75 on the floor potency, but I mean, it's like a lot cheaper. It's like 1/3 of the price if you just go with the regular Addy capsules, which only boost one stat. And so my game plan is I'm going to be farming for all of those capsules. If I manage to get a surplus of all of those capsules, then sure, I might upgrade my armor because it's not going to cost me an arm and a leg. However, if you are a budget player, or maybe you just like mid-tier and you don't really care about getting 93% potency and min-max and get the best of the best and all of that stuff, it's perfectly fine to stick with whatever you have right now. But at the bare minimum, I think most people should be aiming for at least around 55-60% potency, somewhere in that range. I think that is probably a sweet spot. I don't really recommend people to go my build anymore with my 55% potency and like super HP, super tanky, and all of that damage resistance. Mainly because everyone is now able to deal so much more damage with extra potency. I feel like a lot of people should be gravitating towards more potency, since as Uber showed over here with his gear, you know, you're getting this much potency, 93.5% potency, and you're only sacrificing 100 HP, 20 PP, and like 6% damage resistance. The defensive stat loss over here is peanuts compared to the almost 40% potency that we actually gain. You can see here from 55% all the way to 93.5%. Okay, it's not 40%, but it's really close to that. And that is actually, that's crazy. Like, I'm more than happy to sacrifice 100 HP for 40% potency. Like, anyone should take that deal, right? It's a no-brainer. Getting that extra damage at the cost of 100 HP and 20 PP, it's like nothing. So it's definitely worth building a little bit more offensive nowadays. But of course, to play devil's advocate, maybe when the Stia region comes out, you know, we get new armors that's going to be significantly better than our current armors. I personally don't think so. It might be another side grade or a little bit of an improvement, because like when the Sasato armors came out versus the Sorzest armors, like they were, you know, they were better, but it wasn't like by leaps and bounds. So there's that. But if you're still sitting on Sorzest armor like myself, I think when the Stia armor comes out, it's definitely going to be a significant improvement. I mean, heck, even the Ephetus armor right now is a really significant improvement already. So depending on how many resources you have at hand right now, maybe it's a good time to upgrade. However, of course, when the Stia region comes out, are we going to get level 5 capsules? That's another thing we also need to think about. If we do get Mastery 5, if we get Arc's Domina, if we get all these really powerful capsules, well, we know for a fact that everyone is going to be upgrading if those capsules become available. And on top of that, the augment crafting system is going to be updated probably in like a month or two, where we'll be able to trade our level 3 capsules into level 4 capsules. So obtaining Might 4, obtaining the Gigas Might 4s, and all of those capsules are going to be significantly easier, since we can just upgrade our level 3 capsules into level 4 capsules. So that will be coming in, but we just don't know when, whether it comes in next month or the month after when Stia gets released. So depending on that situation, you could save a lot of money if you just don't upgrade now, wait till that system comes in, craft all your level 4 capsules, and boom, you saved yourself a ton of money and a ton of time, because you don't need to farm as much anymore. So in conclusion, should you upgrade? It really depends on your current financial situation. If you have a lot of resources, you're sitting on 100 million plus, and you're kind of bored of the game, you got nothing else to do, right? You're super rich, you've bought out all the fashion that you want, and you're just sitting there twiddling your thumbs going like, Stia, please come out. Then sure, you can upgrade your gear, because why the heck not? It gives you another goal, you got more stuff to farm for, and you're gonna feel super duper crazy overpowered with any of the content that the game releases. You're gonna just blast through it and just utterly destroy everything, especially with things like Ordinal Tower. If you are farming for those motion items, you know, you're gonna need to run that really often, and if you have 90% potency, 93% potency, you're gonna be completing the Ordinal Tower in like 3 minutes. I mean, with my gear right now, I'm able to complete the Ordinal Tower in sub 5 minutes already. So I'm pretty sure if you do, you're basically doubling my damage, right? So 2.5 minutes, that, I mean, sub 3 minutes. I think sub 3 minutes is definitely possible. So you could do that, and you would be able to farm so many more runs if you're just super crazy overpoweredly geared. But of course, if you are tight on resources, or if you're simply saving up for the Overlord collab, you know, it's not a big deal. You don't need to upgrade right now. You can wait until next month, especially with the Stia region coming out. There's going to be a lot of new gear there. There's going to be a lot of different augments. We're going to have a lot more choices. And of course, we'll be able to craft our augments. So the choice is yours.
Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel, it really means a lot to me. Thank you again.
But yeah, that's all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe. And I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye!
What can I say except you're welcome? For the hills